because I've noticed that you're a very masculine guy. You know, you do some amazing stuff. You've got such a built-up history. But what is your definition of masculinity? Do you think we've forgotten how to be what you consider real men?
You know, that's a good one. So by definition, masculinity is defined by our culture. And that becomes a problem because culturally speaking, we don't necessarily do very well with that. You know, usually culture will define something based off of a single lifetime. There's no history. There's no collective knowledge. And so I find that to be very, very broken. I find current masculinity to be a lot of posturing, a lot of hiding emotion, a lot of not being real, and it does not work. So I would define masculinity, and you'll hear me say this a lot, masculinity is truly about identifying that which matters in life and then figuring out how to master it and then lead others to do the same. And there's obviously a lot to all that, but at the core, at the foundational level, that's how I see it.
So is that your definition of what would make a man successful if they do that, or have you got other criteria that you would judge if somebody was a success in their life?
That is absolutely my criteria. That's a lot of the work that I do with the people that I do work with. That's where success comes from. You know, success comes from identifying the pieces, the fundamental pieces to life. And there's a lot of them. Right? I mean, there's not a lot of them on the big 30,000 foot view, but when you dive into these things like health or money or spirituality, you know, then there's sub-elements, right? Another 100. And then the sub-elements of the sub-elements, like there's a lot to it. So I believe that's where success comes from, because it doesn't matter if you're a rock and roll musician, you're still going to have to deal with the other elements of life. And you know, I saw this very early on when I was looking for mentors, and I came out of the military and the SEAL teams, and I was like, okay, I need to put myself in a position where I can succeed. Let me find these guys on the outside who are doing it, and I couldn't really find any of them. Like, they weren't there because they didn't have it all. I could find guys who made a lot of money, but they were out of shape, right? I can find guys who were really good shape and had kind of an adventurous lifestyle and did all this cool stuff, but they were nowhere near their, you know what I mean, nowhere around their kids. They weren't spending any time with their family. Like, so there was always this imbalance, so to speak. And that's just not true success. People oversimplify what success is.